Hi, so you know the infamous watch list. The list that you say you put the movies or series on that got recommended to you, and either the list doesn't exist or you just don't have the time. Well, mine got pretty big. So I thought I would watch those movies and make a little review video so I have kind of an excuse to watch it and not feel extremely guilty. So yeah, that's this video. Hope you like. The Plague Dogs is a very good movie, but also very old. It's apparently completely hand-drawn, which is just amazing to me, because I take already so long to make a short YouTube video, and I use a program. You could also say that I'm very bad at making animations, but that's mean, and you shouldn't do that. If I had to say one thing that I didn't completely get was that in the beginning a dog dies and they wait with burning it for what I can only guess are plot reasons, which is really weird because the story is so good and then you have, that. But besides that, the movie is even better than most movies I've watched from recent years. For instance, in most movies, a person has to face their fears, right? It's a typical thing. But most directors think the viewer is stupid, so they really have to point it out like, hey, remember, this was a hard, difficult moment for that character, so now they're doing something brave. But in this movie, it's what I consider done right. One of the dogs was traumatized to cross a line because, long story short, that's how their owner died. Then somewhere in the end of the movie, they have to cross the line again or die. So the dog crosses the line and that's it. Not the whole close-up of the line. Close-up of the dog in shock. Back to the line, back to the dog. Inner monologue. Other dogs saying, you can do it. None of that. I know that's refreshing to see, which is ironic because it's an old movie. There's also this fascinating character, the fox, who only helps the dogs to gain stuff themselves and then fucks off. But then at a certain point, the fox bites off more than he can chew and dies. And it's not really revealed if the fox had a change of heart and genuinely wanted to help the dogs, or just did it to gain something even bigger. I also like the small details. For instance, the PTS dog has a cut on its head from the bad lab people, and it heals a bit throughout the whole movie. Not completely, but still. Also another small detail, but more in the literal sense, is that the dogs are becoming slimmer throughout the winter because of course they can't find any food. The ending is amazing. Throughout the whole movie, they're just trying to survive, and at the end, they're on a beach surrounded by military guys. So their best way out is just to swim. Swim like their lives depend on it, because it does. At a certain point, of course, they get exhausted. So to push through, they say they see an island. And you as a viewer don't until way later, but then you see that it's probably too far, but hey, you never know. I really don't think so. I also think it's pretty obvious that they wouldn't. But again, it's nice that they don't literally tell you. One of the funniest things of the whole movie was that the last end credit song was just, I don't know, so upbeat for what just happened. I really laughed out loud. Almost as hard as the funniest thing, which was when one of the hunters was like, hey, I'm not gonna shoot you, showing trust. And the dog was so happy, runs up to him, and then the dog pulls the trigger so that the hunter shoots his face. It's funnier when you see it. When I explain it like that, I sound like a psychopath, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep that in. All in all, this movie was just amazing. And I would recommend it, although I completely spoiled it. I'm sorry, it's still really, really good. Anyway, that was my review for this movie. I originally planned to review three movies, but this already took me like 1.5 hours to film. I know it doesn't look that way, but it did. I also still have to edit it, so I'm just gonna leave it here. So the next videos will probably be other review videos. If you want to watch those, you can always come back or, subscribe to know when they're up. And if you don't want to, nothing personal, but I don't care.